and I start selling life insurance, and I look around and I'm like, wow, why can't I sell all these other things too, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
That's your money brain working going, hey,
yeah,
there's more opportunity in here.
I'm talking to the same people.
Yeah.
All I got to do is ask
That's
different
right.
questions and
Yeah.
more questions.
100%. 100%.
So I go get that license, which is
Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we've got a special guest, somebody who's dear to me. We've actually been friends for, over a couple of decades now, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
years.
pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
This is, I'm going to introduce David Thompson. David's with Foursquare Insurance, co-owner, right?
Yep.
And we've got a lot of history, but our followers don't know you. David, you don't know David, right?
I don't know him.
David, my other brother, David.
Here we go.
But you
Yeah.
guys aren't brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that we know of.
Well, hey, so David, let's do a little introduction here. Let's do a walk up. So you own an insurance company, Foursquare, but how'd you get there, right? Where are you from originally?
Born and raised in this area.
Yeah.
Grew up in South Garland. And went to school there, several different schools.
Yeah.
And ended up at Garland Christian Academy, which is a little private school. We had maybe 18 people in our graduating class.
Yeah. So giant class.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You and a couple of other homies.
yeah. We actually had a full on sermon was our graduation.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
We didn't know that was coming, so a few of us fell asleep. And
I love it, man. I love it.
Interesting.
So you graduated local. What'd you do after that?
Well, I thought I wanted to go to college, and then I realized that was boring. In truth, I just wasn't ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I know your work ethic, brother. You know, we've done business together for a long time, but you're right. Sometimes you get out of school,
Yeah.
and you don't know exactly where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
And so how'd you get over here?
So what's
man?
weird is, I guess since a teenager, the only thing I knew is that I was good at money, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. Yep.
So what that meant initially was I got a job at the bank
Right.
as a
Yeah.
teller.
Yep.
And so I did that for a while, and then anyway, somehow ended up at Chick-fil-A. Did that for a while before in the era
Slinging that chicken.
before,
For all you Chick-fil-A fanatics, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which we're Dallas, so
Oh yeah. So then somehow I end up a friend of mine opens a door
mm-hmm.
and I end up as a office manager for
Dallas Home Loans.
for this company.
Dallas Home Loans. This is where we run into each other,
Yes.
right? And that
We first
friend
met.
is Lisa.
Lisa Fields.
Lisa Fields,
who's
and Lisa
now-
is she's a real estate
She's a
agent.
realtor.
She's a realtor, right?
So y'all should-
Funny how that works out,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Funny how that works. But Lisa worked with us too.
Yeah.
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 She ended up doing a lot of the back end closing
Yeah.
work. She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. And she's still great.
Yep.
She's doing great as a real estate agent.
Yeah. Her.
So she gets you in the door as the office manager, right?
Yeah.
And it's a mortgage company. And this is what year? gonna date
I
us.
want to say it's 2004.
Yeah, that's exactly when it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
Okay.
exactly when it was.
So 2004, and it's one of these deals where I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, you had no clue. I remember.
And so I don't know. We get through. I was hired as office manager, but really it was office manager / payroll guy /
Yep.
human resources, where I fired
Personal assistants.
big on personal
Personal
assistance.
assistant. Yeah.
So on the daily, I would do randomness. I would fire people because
yeah. He liked to move through employees quick.
at one point I think I counted best estimate like 250 people.
Sounds about right.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, it
But
is terrible. But that's why we don't work with
yes.
he who shall not be named.
Yeah, yeah. No names. Anyway, so I did all this
You're a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
You know, because we work together,
Yeah.
and I was running the business. I was
Yeah.
the president of sales, right?
Yep.
But I think I had my hand in a lot more things.
Oh yeah.
than
You were doing
just sales,
jobs
right?
too.
Yeah.
I
We
think.
wore a lot of hats there, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what made us so good
Yeah.
in our professional careers because
Oh, yeah.
we had to learn a lot of it as we went, right? You remember back in the day when we'd be like, "Hey, we need a policy on this." and because it kept coming up, right? You know,
Yeah.
and you'd come in my office and we'd sit there and
Yeah.
we'd figure out policies together. And
Yep.
we literally wrote our policy manual. You know,
Yeah.
I think most of the policies that were in that manual, those were all ours, right?
Yeah. And you know, not to get off topic, but I owe a lot to you because to this day, when we write a policy in our company or anyway, there's lots of empowerment and lots of like when we want to do something, we'll
Yeah.
actually open it up to the people on our team
Yeah.
and go, we think
Get
this
their
is a good
input.
idea. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Get their
And
input. That's important. That's important, you know, especially when you work with people you respect
yeah.
and know respect you. So before we jump into that though, so you're
Yeah.
running the office, you're doing this for how long in the mortgage side?
Well, 6 years, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds about right. Maybe closer to 5 because at some point in there, we had a market crash.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The gentleman
09.
we were both working for switched gears a little bit,
Yeah.
right? He went to
debt settlement.
debt settlement. I stayed in mortgage.
Yeah.
You went.
I went with him.
You went debt settlement.
Why? Because that was the money.
That's it. That's it.
So
Yeah, but you were the office manager.
yeah,
And you ran that office for him very well.
I did.
Yeah. In fact, that gentleman sold that office
Mhm.
and he made $45 million.
Yeah.
$45 million, right?
Yeah.
You know, but you ran that office.
Oh, yeah.
You set the stage for a lot of the policies and procedures that went on
Sure.
there. Yeah, absolutely. And there's other hands in it, right? So we can't
Yeah,
give you
yeah,
all
absolutely.
the credit, but you've seen success.
Yeah.
Right. You've seen success. So
Yeah.
so now you're here and you decide, man, I'm not going to do this anymore. Right.
Yeah.
And so what happens?
Well, I decide that I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then I still get back to I like money, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And so my awesome plan was to go to work for Edward Jones
Yeah.
as a financial advisor.
That's right. I remember.
And that was a good idea until it wasn't. Their marketing plan for you is quite literally, or maybe it's changed, but it was you go to the old neighborhoods with the big tree houses, or not tree house, but the big trees,
Big trees.
big roots,
Okay.
old houses,
Got it.
because that's where the old money is,
Ah.
and the old people, I guess. And so, and you go door knocking
Okay.
in a suit,
Yeah.
365,
Looking like a Mormon.
yeah. And this is the thing, and even
Did you have a bicycle?
no, no,
So you're door knocking for Edward Jones,
yeah.
and it doesn't feel right.
It never felt right. It felt awkward. It was awkward. I'm sure
Yeah.
it was awkward for them too.
Sure.
Um,
But you had some success with it.
I had some success
Yeah.
because I had to.
Well, you're a go-getter, man. You
Yeah.
know, you're a go-getter. You know, we talk about it all the time on here. What it takes to have success is taking action.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always been, you know, something that you've been known for. You know, you helped run those offices.
Yeah.
They got things accomplished because you were there every day taking action.
Yeah.
You're out on your own now, right?
Yeah.
You're learning how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And you're out taking action, knocking on doors with
Yeah.
big trees in the front yard.
Yes. just looks different.
Yeah, absolutely. So you decide Edward Jones isn't the place. And how do you get to insurance? How do we segue over?
So the one thing I was good at was selling life insurance.
Okay.
And so I somehow well, I know why now, but I get on LinkedIn and I meet this farmer's agent.
Yeah.
And I get on there.
Okay.
And I know now that he was attracted to me because part of their agent bonus structure
Right.
is you have to sell life insurance, and no one in his office sold life insurance.
Ah, he
So-
needed your specialty, the
Yeah.
life insurance specialist.
So I get on there and I start selling life insurance, and I look around and I'm like, wow, why can't I sell all these other things too? Right.
Yeah.
And
That's your money brain working going,
Yeah.
hey, there's more opportunity in here.
I'm talking to the same people.
Yeah.
All I got to do is ask
That's
different
right.
questions and
Yeah,
more questions.
100%. 100%.
So I go get that license, which is so easy compared to the financial one.
Yeah.
And anyway, so then I start selling that, and I worked there for about 18 months.
Yep.
I've always, I don't know when this started, but I started super analytical,
Mhm.
tracking where I'm getting my leads from,
Yeah.
what it takes to create those leads,
That's right.
etc. Well, part of the reason I went to farmers was they were going to provide leads.
Okay.
Well, they never did.
We've heard that one before, huh, David?
A little bit, yeah.
Only to find out, the
Yeah.
leads that are being provided is the phone book.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, we don't even have phone books anymore. I guess
No.
it's Google, right?
Yeah. Anyways, basically the only coaching I got there was go talk to lenders.
Yeah.
And real estate
Right.
people. But so I started doing that. Anyway, so over I was there 18 months, but over a course of 12, this light bulb goes off and I go, I'm 80% of these that I'm closing
Are your own generated business.
I am the lead gen.
That's right.
I'm like, well, why am I splitting any money?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go into business for myself.
And the other issue was I had lots of good referral partners.
Yeah.
But I had one product. I had farmers.
That's right.
And if that one product didn't fit, then that it was just too bad.
I was just talking to my videographer about this, John, right before you jumped on, right, about having the right products. And when you're working in insurance, making sure that you've got a inventory of vendors that you can do business with means that you may be able to help this person get a little better premium over here and this one over here.
Mhm.
And as a insurance broker, you tend to know, if you're good at what you do, which place to send that person to get them the best possible policy. And let's talk about that real quick, viewers. At the end of the day, a lot of times people don't realize this. They think an insurance policy is an insurance policy is an insurance policy. That's definitely not the case. And if you're working with the wrong broker or the wrong company, right, you may end up with a policy that has more coverage than you need, or you may end up underinsured. But when you work with a broker that understands where to place your product, right, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to get the right amount of insurance for the right price, and they're going to shop it around for you because they already know where to take these things, right, to get that great deal. And this, we talked about this on the with your business partner, Chris Garcia, right, on mortgage side. Having the right loan officer is important because some loan officers, many loan officers, don't get the proper training. You're giggling, you worked with us. Yeah. You know how it works when you're bringing on new people and they tell you they know all this stuff that they don't know, right? Yeah. And having that right loan officer or that right insurance agent that understands. Talk a little bit about that, David.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we, as a loan officer, our clientele is always looking for the best pricing or the best insurance, and they're looking to us for guidance because they look at us
but
as
sometimes
experts.
It's not the best price, right? It's the best policy. It's the best product for you at the end of the day. Now, we're going to get great pricing because that's what we do. Yeah. But let's not always talk about price. Let's talk about making sure, is the product right for that consumer? Is the coverage right? Is the product right? Go ahead, David.
Exactly. So, so we do something that very regimented. So on Wednesday, we call our past clientele, our past database, just to touch base. We love to give service, and we just want to touch our customers to make sure they don't need anything from us. But one of the things, the value proposition we're bringing to our clients right now is, hey, it's that time of year where escrows is going up. You probably got a letter saying your escrows are going up. Well, I can't do anything about the taxes because unless you want to fight City Hall, but I can help you with the insurance.
That's right.
So my call to action is, hey, you know what? They say it's good to shop your homeowner's insurance about every couple of years to get the best pricing or to get the best product because it's constantly changing, right?
That's right.
So what's depending on where you're at, if you stay with the same carrier year over year, your premiums tend to go up 10 to 20%. Or guess what? If you stay with the same carrier a couple of years, that's 40% possibly. That's right. Where if you're an exclusive to one agency like a Farmers or a State Farm or exclusive, you really can't shop that. Where someone like you who brokers it out, which that's
you
what
can
they want.
shop within the person you're already working with.
Right. So,
and you're probably shopping for them automatically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When they come up for policy renewal, you're not going, hey, here it is, sign the papers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking at options for them.
So what is different about us?
Right.
And only the client sees this, I guess, but we have a renewal division. There's what I saw at Farmers or just Captive in general is you write a policy, you hope that they don't ever call.
Yeah.
When they call at renewal, you don't want to talk to them because why do they want to talk? The price has gone up and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you kind of ignore them. And then after 2 or 3 years, they fire you.
That's not customer service.
No.
Yeah. That's not a product you can stand behind.
We've created a different thing.
So let's talk about this real quick. So you're at State Farm? Farmers. You're at
Farmers.
Farmers.
Yeah.
You're at Farmers. Let's not put shame on State Farm. Maybe we should. I don't know. Right?
They're all at fault.
They're all, yeah, all of them, all of the bloodsuckers.
They're all good. They're all bad.
So you're at Farmers and you're realizing, man, this isn't great for the consumer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also not great for me, right? All I've got is vanilla.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have chocolate and vanilla and, Neapolitan and,
Right.
all the other flavors in between. Cookie dough, right? Who doesn't like cookie dough, right? So
Yeah.
so you want some cookie dough and you go, hey, look, how do I do that? So how's that segue?
So there's a very interesting segue here. So innocent me,
Isn't there always?
yeah, innocent me goes to the agent that I worked for. So I was an agency producer, and I innocently ask him, "Hey man, so I have like a $300,000 book, which I thought was really good,
Yeah.
but it's like 100 clients, and it's whatever."
You're just getting started
Yeah,
in that world.
and I was like, I'd kind of like to do this myself.
Yeah.
And what I thought I was asking was for him to kind of walk beside me and to guide me into getting my own thing going.
Yeah.
It was a threat.
Yeah.
Direct threat.
Yeah. Hey, I'm taking my book of business and going elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's what he heard.
That's what he heard.
Yep.
And maybe many years later, I can understand that.
Sure.
But anyways, all these things mold you into
Who you are.
who you are.
Absolutely. We don't get successful overnight, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think, hey man, that guy he just woke up and he's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it takes time, right?
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes effort. It takes having a lot of failures, falling down a few times, dusting yourself back off, and figuring out what the right formula is to create the success.
Yeah.
So you fall down.
So going back to at some point I realized that I was the lead gen for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm splitting with him, and then now I've gone to him and asked if he would help me get my own agency going, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
And then I saw the writing on the wall
Yeah.
after that point, and so anyway, so I ended up interviewing with this small company called Foursquare Insurance.
Okay. There we go.
So I started as an agency producer of them.
That's great.
And then I got to the co-owner position.
That's right.
But I interviewed with them. I don't know. They were like, "You want to work here?" And I was like, "Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
And so that was that. That was late 2000.
Well, they have what you wanted, right? Maybe they were a
Yeah.
shell at the time, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they had the ability to broker, right?
Yeah.
You had the ability to write policies you couldn't write before.
Yeah.
You could give a better product to your consumers.
Yep.
And even if maybe they weren't the biggest name, it doesn't matter because if you got the relationships built with your consumers,
Right.
and you're drawing them into something that's going to be better for them, right? And they've got the trust there for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's going to work out because people do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
So your consumers that you're doing business with, they trusted you enough to say, man, David, if you're making this transition, it's probably for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I don't care that the name is Foursquare because the policies that
don't
you're
care.
writing aren't Foursquare policies,
Right.
right? You're writing them through different agencies. What kind of vendors do you get to do business with?
Safeco, Travelers, Allstate, Encompass.
The big names, right? They're
Yeah,
all big.
basically
There's a lot of them.
every household
And Safeco
name.
and Travelers kind of the same thing, right?
No,
No,
they're
they're not.
different. But Safeco and Liberty are
Liberty, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Safeco and Liberty. So a lot of people don't realize they see Safeco and they go, "Who's this small company?" It's Liberty
huge
Mutual.
company.
It's a huge company, exactly.
Um,
But it's kind of a secret in the broker industry because you can get a little better policy with
Yeah.
the same coverage,
Mhm.
right? Just because you don't have that Liberty name
Yeah.
behind it.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they had for me, they had the solution to my problem, which
That's right.
was I didn't care anything about anything. Can you pay me? Yes. Do you have more carriers? Because the struggle
Right.
I really had was with my realtors.
Well, you're not worried about marketing because you already realized
Right.
if you're the big box guy, they're not giving you marketing anyways,
No.
right? Their marketing is our name is Farmers.
Yes.
Everybody knows Farmers.
Totally.
So guess what? You should just be able to find business.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're Foursquare and the name isn't known, but you are.
Yeah,
And now you got the opportunity to do something great.
sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So I just started hustling.
That's awesome.
I had the referral partners. I knew I had their lead gen, and I went back to them and I was like, okay, I have 20 options now,
That's
not
great.
one. And that lit a fuse. And
I can really help your customers
Yeah.
get the best product for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So let's fast forward to now,
Yeah.
7 years later, 2016 to now,
That's
7
it.
years. What
Yeah.
what is your what does your organization look like? What tell us about it.
It's quite different. So I am now co-owner of the agency,
That's great.
along with one of the original founders,
You can throw a name out there.
Stephen Paul,
Stephen Paul.
and
There we go.
he's a really good guy. And
Stephen, Paul, David, all biblical
yeah,
names.
yeah. He's opened a door for me that I could have opened.
Yeah.
Much harder, etc. But he's opened a door for me to be a co-owner. When it happened, it was pretty unexpected. I was
Yeah.
just working, and he was like, "You want to be an owner?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So today,
How many
we
employees?
we have 13 employees,
13 employees. You're doing business in how many states?
2 states,
Two
Texas
states.
and Oklahoma.
Texas and Oklahoma.
We have
What kind of products are you writing?
mostly home and auto.
Home and auto. Yep.
We also do life. Look, we do it. We can do anything except for health.
Yeah.
Health is a mess. But
my health might be a mess,
but our bread and butter and how we've created the agency is finding carriers that work for lenders to get to the closing table.
That's great.
So
That's great.
we have a ton of home insurance companies. The auto usually comes with that, and then
Yeah.
we pivot from there.
Yeah, bundle stuff up, get them the best possible opportunity. So you have 13 people. What's that organization look like, right? Let's say I'm a homeowner and I need insurance from you, and that phone rings for the first time, right? How does that go, right? How does that get worked through? What's the process? You talk to me a little bit about your process. What's that look like?
Yeah, somewhere along the way, I get real big on systems and processes.
You have to.
Yeah,
If you're going to be successful,
yeah,
you have to have systems and processes.
and good people in the correct place.
No question about it. Yeah, the
So-
right people,
Yeah. So
your success partners.
we just have a process for everything. So that phone call comes in, it gets greeted by a lady named Jennifer, who's also amazing, but she's not a seller.
I've got a Jennifer.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, yes,
amazing
you
as
do.
well. I do.
So she's a warm, awesome voice, and hey, she basically warms
Got to
it
be
up.
the name. Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer's just her warm and awesome.
And then it gets passed off to a salesperson.
Yeah.
Who asks more questions, better
Transition
questions.
to a salesperson.
Transition.
Yeah, transition. Right.
And they, on the new business part, it starts and ends with that.
Yeah.
There's a whole different thing that goes on with retention strategy of making them feel welcome, making them understand who we
Following
are,
up,
blah, blah, blah.
making sure that when that renewal policy is coming up, they know that you guys are there to protect them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
How's that work? Right. Renewals up. They're just you're holding your breath that they don't call.
No. So quite literally.
So it's not farmers.
No. I sat down. So I've had another person with me for like the duration. Her name's Chelsea.
Okay.
Chelsea Burnett. She's a storm chaser, and she's awesome too. But so Chelsea and I kind of created this renewals process.
Yeah.
And
Is this part of the choo-choo train you speak
it's
of?
a choo-choo train. We have a renewals process, and it's a choo-choo train, and it don't stop until either the policy renews or we get fired.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. 100%.
But so renewals start usually 60 days out. So
That's great.
first thing we do is we send out a handwritten card.
Oh man, that's awesome. The
And
lost art. We talk about this all
I
the
know.
time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's I swear I see the thing about numbers is I can't tell you what that handwritten card does to retention, but I swear to God it's 1 or 2%.
100%. You know it does. And I'll tell you why it does, because it's a lost art, right? Customer service has gone out the window with a lot of organizations.
Sure.
And the ones that do it right, they're doing those extra touches. A handwritten card, we talked about this the other day. You can't throw it away. There's a shelf life on that card. It doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, you see a card, it's got a handwritten on it. You can't just walk over and throw it in their wastebasket. It doesn't work. We're dedicated at that point in time. It's got to have some life, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to sit on a desk or it's
for
going
a
to
while.
sit. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you guys are doing handwritten cards, and you're right. It makes a difference because that person who gets that goes, oh, wow, my renewal is up. These people care.
Right.
Exactly.
Because you had to take time to do it.
Yeah.
You can't automate that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So someone on the other end knows you took time out of your day to think about them personally. That's why that handwritten card is so
Yeah.
Personal
powerful.
touch.
And so we're like 3,000 clients now. So we write
Whew.
3,000 of these cards a year. We also do it at new business, but anyway, so we're really writing like
So
6,000.
so you're giving a personal touch across the board, right?
Yeah.
You're opening with a personal touch. You're waiting for that renewal period to hit, and you're hitting them with another personal touch. And so now it's 60 days out.
Yeah.
And now what does that look like?
So we want the card to go out first because so the game for us is beating the insurance company to the renewal.
Yeah,
That
that's right.
makes
Because
sense.
they're gonna get mailers.
yeah.
They're gonna get phone calls. There's
They
other people that are going after that they
that
know
too.
the policy's up for
Yeah.
renewal, right?
So
That's public knowledge, right?
handwritten card number one, and then so Chelsea is the renewal choo-choo train. Okay. So yes, they're not automated, but we just built out email scripts. She does this crazy thing where, 3,000 clients, which is about 6,000 policies.
Yeah.
But she goes and pulls these things down from the carrier, which happens. The whole goal is before the insurance company connects with the client,
Yeah.
because I don't want the phone call of, hey, why did my rate go up 40%? What I want is for Chelsea to pull it down, send it to them from us, and say, hey, here's your renewal.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think, and then we give our opinion. Like this year it's just nuts.
It's been rough. No, you're right. It's been a rough year for a lot of insurance agencies.
Yeah.
Premiums have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's tough to be the
Yeah.
the renewal partner
The
here because
broker.
you got to call up and say, hey, I know you don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
I've shopped this around for you a little
Yeah.
bit. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's going up, but we've saved you a little bit because
Yep.
even though it's supposed to go up, it's only going to go up this much, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
So-
a hard call to make.
Yeah.
That's a hard call to make, but you got to make it because you're a professional,
Yeah.
right? But there's guys that are farmers; they're not making the call at all, right?
No, they're not
They're
doing
hoping the
any
phone
of this.
doesn't ring,
Yeah.
and that you just sign the paper and move on, right?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, do you want to say thank you to Chelsea, man? Because it sounds like
Chelsea
you got this girl doing a lot.
Chelsea's worth more than we pay her. How about that?
Maybe she shouldn't listen to this podcast.
And she shouldn't. But Chelsea's amazing.
Yeah.
She is we actually refer to her as the human machine. Like she would actually prefer to be stuck in the closet over there and left alone.
Yeah.
And 8 hours later she comes out and I mean
Magic's
hundreds
happened.
of policies
Yeah.
she's touched.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
Yeah.
anyway,
And those,
she's awesome.
Those are the best kind of people, man. David's got one of those on his team. Her name's
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jasmine, she doesn't want the recognition of the credit, but we give it to her on these shows all the
Mhm.
time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, literally, you put her in a room and say, hey, go to work, and she's going to come out and she's going to go, wow, how'd
Yeah.
you do all that? Right.
Yeah.
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 And so you've got Jasmine, you've got
That's
Chelsea.
great.
Yeah. I've got Dana,
Yeah.
and Jennifer, right? They're both amazing, but Dana's the same way, man. She's, I give her a project and she may curse me a little bit, but at the end of the day, when I get it back, it's better than what I expected.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you've got your great process and you've got a giant database of consumers now
Mhm.
that you built from customer number 1
Yeah.
to customer number 3,000.
Yeah.
And you're continuing to build that every year.
Oh yeah.
So, let's get off of business here real quick because I know a little bit about your home life. And brother, you've done some really amazing things, right? You've got the family back there and you've got, your kids.
Yeah.
But you've also got some adopted kids,
Yeah.
right? You've done something pretty special, right? And it hits me right here anytime I think about it. And I want you to get some accreditation here. So talk to me a little bit about it.
Okay.
What's the home life? And you and your wife, right? So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, 100%.
I don't know if this would have happened without my wife Alana.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually she was the first one that brought it up. But
Yeah.
so she has a story, but basically there was something that happened with her on a way to work one day.
Yeah.
And there was a kid and she helped couldn't find this kid was whatever, not in the right place.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she couldn't get this. So she gets calls the cops and blah blah blah. So anyway, couldn't get out of her head. Called later, found out that the kid they found parents and all that.
Yeah.
But not good situation.
No.
CPS gets involved.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this lights this fire in her.
Yeah.
And we start talking about what does foster look like?
Yeah.
Foster care. At the time, we've already given birth to Makeda and Jen, I think. So
Yeah.
I think we had 2 kids.
You did.
And so for starters, when I got married,
Young
I said,
kids, mind you.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were 2 and 4, 3
Yeah,
and 5.
that's right.
When I got married, I was like, one's good. I'm
Yeah.
good with one. And one somehow became two,
Yeah.
and then this happens, and then we go to a foster care, like learn what it is meeting,
Yeah.
and it just it's like going to I don't know, going to counseling or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so fast forward about 6 months, and it was very interesting. We said we'll foster to adopt,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean you get to adopt. It just
Right.
means you're going to take care of a kid for a while.
Right.
Anyway, so this girl comes to us, and her name is Annabelle, who is now Annie.
Yeah.
And so little did we know that that was going to be the first one that we kept.
And she came from a pretty troubled situation.
And yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to hear all that,
We
but
won't go into all, but I think
it was messy.
mother on drugs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mother on anything that
Yeah.
would
And during pregnancy.
during pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So you've done a really good thing here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we foster Annie, and then we end up getting to where we're going to adopt her.
Yeah.
And the CPS people walks up to us and say, "Hey, so Annie's mom's actually pregnant. Are you interested in another
Yeah.
one?" Which
Yeah.
is really weird because at the time we were talking, praying about whether or not we should do another one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we take him on, and that's Jackson. And then we had a family adoption a few years ago,
Right.
out of necessity, but it was just the right place, right time. It felt. I mean, you can't say no. So we've had kids. We've adopted kids of parents we don't know, and adopted one that we do know, and they're all different.
Quite the
Different
blended family.
emotions. Oh yeah,
So
Quite
how
the
many
blended
kids do
family.
you have, Dave?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party of 7.
So
Yeah.
real quick before we move off of that, so you're doing a beautiful thing, and I, I had to talk about it because again we talk about success in our business,
Yeah.
but we also talk about success with our families, and your success with your family is not just your immediate family, but you've extended your family
Yeah.
in a magical way, and man, I felt like that should be showcased. But not just you, your wife. Talk about
Oh, yeah.
Elena real quick too, right? So
Sure.
what, how do you feel about your wife, man?
Oh, I love her. I love my wife.
Yeah.
Been married. Oh man, you're just gonna get me in trouble.
It's okay.
20-ish years.
20-ish years. 20-ish years.
Anyway, so she's great, and she has this heart for kids,
Yeah.
and I think so. We've adopted kids. We gave birth to kids. She is the kids director at church.
Yes, she is.
And which I love. I did a face,
Just
but
giving
which I
back,
love.
and she gives back, and she gives back.
She can't stop.
Yeah.
And now, so what I haven't said is, so what her plan is that when we get down to, our oldest is 16. So when we get down to just Jackson in the house, when
Yeah.
he's a teenager,
Right.
there's one in the house.
Yep.
She wants to adopt 2 teenagers.
Oh boy.
I'm like, I
Big
said,
plans.
that's a whole different animal. So she has a heart for kids.
Yeah.
And I think adoption, and I think there's probably a
She
second
cares,
part
man.
of our life
She
where
cares. You care.
yeah,
You guys are doing good things for other people that need it, right?
yeah,
And that's success, brother. That's success. So you've managed to find time to adopt 3 children,
yeah,
build a business, and a successful business,
Yeah.
right? And you give back to those in need.
yep.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And could you do all this without Elena?
No,
No.
I don't even know that the business thing wouldn't even be great because I verbally process with her.
Right.
And even last night, she's like, "No, that process is broken. You got to do this."
So she might be the actual
Okay.
CEO.
Sure.
He's not giving up the title on here. That's going to be his best kept secret.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. We talk about all the time. The CEO is at home a lot of time for a lot of us,
Yeah.
right?
Amen.
Because at the end of the day, when we go out and we do what we do, if we didn't have a backbone behind us, we couldn't accomplish some of the
Right.
things that we were able to accomplish.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. Well, we can't have you all day. As much as we got a lot of catching up to do. It's been a
Sure.
while since you and I've talked, but
Yeah.
is there anything we should have talked about today that we shouldn't? Anything about the business? Anything special that you're doing over there? Maybe the insurance superpower that you guys have going on over there.
No, I think we're good. I mean, the secret sauce is renewals,
Yeah.
which I kind of gave away. So we'll see.
But that's
who takes
important,
it.
guys, because again, we talk about that when we talk about the standard insurance company, and typically it's the homeowner chasing down the agent saying,
Always.
"Hey, help me, I need to save some money." But you're chasing down the homeowner, and you're saying, "Hey, let me help you save some money."
Yeah.
That's your superpower.
Yeah.
That's your superpower, right? And that's why you've got the consistency and the renewals coming back time and time again.
Yeah.
David, anything you'd like to ask David, not brothers, before we wrap this thing up?
No, it's definitely nice to meet you, David, and I see us possibly doing business in the future. Not
Yeah.
Let's
possibly,
do it.
but for
Well,
sure.
Foursquare
Let's
out
do
there.
it.
Foursquare, yeah.
I
We'll
like
just
it,
set
man.
up shop here.
Let's go. We've got some empty cubicles, man.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, how do our followers find you and Foursquare Insurance, right?
Yep.
If they've got a policy need for home, auto, or anything in between in Oklahoma or Texas, right? Or Texas or Oklahoma, let's get it right.
Yes.
Yeah, Texas comes first.
Yep.
How do they find you? How do they find
Well,
Foursquare? David Thompson.
we're on the web, foursquareinsurance.com. We're also on Facebook. All of our agents have business pages as well. We're on Instagram.
So
And
foursquareinsurance.com.
Foursquare
Foursquareinsurance.com. This spelled out Four.
All written out. Yes.
Okay.
We're still
Foursquare.
working on that.
Yeah, not Foursquared.
No.
Foursquare. What about a phone number? Good phone number to contact you guys?
469-362-6800.
Say that one more time.
469-362-6800.
Perfect. Or they can find you on Facebook. And personally, Facebook for you, where are they going to find you for the business side?
Facebook.
Is it
David
Foursquare?
Thompson.
Just David Thompson.
David Thompson.
Just David
Foursquare.
Thompson Foursquare.
Yep.
I like it.
You'll
Awesome.
find it.
Well, I guess David, Nguyen, if did you have anything else you wanted to share before we sign off today?
No,
brother?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Cool.
Well, David, it's been great having you on, and man, appreciate everything you're doing. Love to hear the success story. I
Yeah.
knew a little bit of it. You filled in some of the blanks.
Sure.
But also, again, I got to tell you, my heart goes out to what you guys are doing for those kids, man. It's
Thank
an
you.
amazing thing. So, well, guys, I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And we're your real estate success partners. If you want to find us, you can find us at www.realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. We're also going to be on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all your listening platforms. You can also check us out on YouTube if you like the video version. We love those 5-star reviews, and we'd love it if you follow. So until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.